Hello everyone. So I was sent this Soapcloth to review. It's kind of a outdoor cleaning towel. There's many products similar to this. Just essentially a little compact towelette that you pour water on, it expands, and supposedly it cleans your hands. However, there's one interesting thing about this product that I noticed is everything, all the soap that you put on your hands from the towel is supposed to completely disappear from your hands. So unlike normally using some sort of soapy towel or anything like that, you usually have to wash your hands afterward, kind of remove any remaining soap or anything like that. So with this, literally you just put some water on it, you clean your hands, and within a few minutes nothing should remain on your hands. So let's give this thing a try. I haven't actually opened it yet. That was easy. I like how the bag can be closed again. That way you can bring this whole thing with you and kind of don't have to rip apart the entire thing. Now, I thought they'd be kind of packed individually, but interesting. So let's see. Take one out. I really didn't expect them to be like this at all. I thought it would be kind of like a tiny little plastic zip or closed up packet. Alright, so I'm just going to lay this to the side, and as you can see my hands are pretty clean. So I just grabbed some random greasy stuff from the garage to kind of get my hands dirty. Just random boat parts. Stuff that kind of isn't that easy to remove from your hands. Let's see, so just get this all over my hands. I don't know. Alright. Alright, and according to the instructions, you don't need much water. So it says here, only about 4 teaspoons, which is surprisingly little. Alright, I got this water here. Guess let's try this out. I'm going to try to first put a really little bit of water on it, just to see kind of what happens. Alright. Alright, so let's try doing it like this. Alright, actually there's a surprisingly large amount of soap coming out of this thing. I really didn't put much water into it. Interesting. So obviously I didn't kind of let this dirt sit on my hands for too long. If I was working on the engine for a couple hours, this would be a little more difficult to remove. But I must say I am impressed. There is a lot of soap that came out of this. Like I don't know, I expected a little less than that. And this thing is also, it's rugged. It's not like a paper towel. It's an actual rag. That's cool because you can really like clean something with it. It's not just going to fall apart on you. Alright. Alright, I guess let's see the magic happen. I guess everything is supposed to disappear from my hands. Just gonna sit here for 2 or 3 minutes. See the magic happen. Just to note, it's probably about 40 degrees outside, so it's not particularly warm. It's just sunny outside, but it's, you need a jacket. It's pretty cold out. Just because I would imagine if it was 80 or 90 degrees outside, this might dry quicker. As you can see, it's actually already cleaning up. There's a lot of soap that came out of this thing, so if this actually goes away within 2 or 3 minutes, I'd be impressed. I feel like this should kind of be wiped down with just anything like a quick towel, and then everything would disappear much more quickly. And there's kind of a lot of soap on this part. It is going. You can see that it is going away. And in the parts where it's actually gone away, it does feel dry. So it isn't leaving any kind of strange layer on my hand. It seems to be fully drying. That's another thing. I expected that if it did dry, it would leave some sort of kind of residue. But doesn't appear to be so. All right, so it's been a couple minutes. This part over here still has to evaporate a little bit, but I had a ton of soap on here. But as you can see, my hands are completely dry on the front here. There's no layer of anything. It's just dry. So the product is working as it's supposed to. Maybe it takes a little longer, but if I kind of just wipe some of the soap off, it would obviously work much quicker, as I had like a massive amount here. So I must say, I'm actually kind of impressed by this product. I like the fact that these towelettes are, I guess saying at the beginning, I expected them to be kind of little wet wipe type things that would easily rip. But this is a pretty tough towel. You could really clean something with this. And I also like that it's just in one pack of all of them kind of together, and they're not individually wrapped. It's interesting. This is definitely a useful product to have in your car or just somewhere if you need to clean something. And as you saw, the amount of soap it creates, it is a lot of soap. I definitely recommend this thing. Now, just to follow up, once I went inside and the soap kind of dried on my hands, I could still tell there's a very thin layer of kind of a dried soap on my hands, even though everything was dried. And if I was outside, if I was camping or hiking, I probably wouldn't even notice. When I come back into my house, it's kind of a different level of cleanliness, and I could definitely tell there's still something on my hands. So what I did is I just went into the sink and I kind of just washed my hands down, and within a few seconds, the water removed any kind of residue on my hands, and everything seemed fine. So just keep that in mind, that there will be still something left on your hands, but really, there must be. I mean, what would happen to this? It's not magic. It's not just going to completely disappear. It still works as intended. The soap dries out, it evaporates, goes away, and if you're outside doing something, you won't really notice the residue. It's very, very minimal. It's really only when you go back inside the house that you kind of feel there's just a little something on your hands. So overall, the product is great. And it's really different from a wet wipe. A wet wipe's kind of if you're camping and you want to eat food, I feel like using a sanitary or like a alcohol wet wipe would be a better thing. This is more kind of for a heavy duty cleaning. Something you might not even necessarily clean just your hands with this. You could clean a tool or some piece of machinery. It's just a heavy duty cleaning cloth. And most of the other products are not exactly that. So I think this is a pretty cool thing to have.